And you place a lot of emphasis there on this construct of the kind of educators and the role that they played. I mean, I remember back then our teachers were our parents, they were our guiders. It wasn't just purely a textbook thing. So, you know, and you talked about rules. I mean, rules are interesting because, you know, when a teacher walked into a classroom, or actually when anybody from a higher grade walked into a classroom, you stood up. Teachers were always Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so. There was an etiquette and a discipline that was enshrined in the students, but yet at the same time there was a discipline and an etiquette enshrined in the teachers themselves. We were sending pictures of our school days, and I looked fondly at our principal. Our principal, I can't remember how many we were in school, but he knew everybody's name. Everybody. As he walked past, Rankin, da-da-da, da-da-da. I was like, geez, I remember that, and I'll never forget that. Your concern, your passion for education, massive. Your passion for teachers specifically in that education framework, in developing young people to become the kind of teachers that we need in this country. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, teachers are obviously a key component of how education is delivered. Mm. And the spirit of it, of teaching, is about that individual having passion for the well-being of the people that they're teaching. So to have a shortage of teachers and to also have behavior around teaching which is counterproductive in terms of the role modeling that goes with it. That for me was a big concern. Yeah. So we wanted to develop quality teachers, and quality is you know, it's a broad spectrum. It's around the competence in terms of subject matter competence. So, I mean, if you're going to teach maths, then you really ought to know maths. But it's also around the emotional intelligence. Yeah. Because, you know, you are, whether you like it or not, you're playing a parenting role. Yeah. And so you need to have the intuition to be able to deal competently with the issues that young people work with. You
use remarkable words, EQ, intuition, and passion, and obviously the subject matter knowledge. And you have a process in terms of how you acquire that for your interns. I mean, tell me, I know you're very specific about this. You and I have gone into lots of discussions about the quality of teacher, because, you know, Vik, you may be called to do something. You may really feel you're a great, singer, but Vik, you're not really a great singer, right? So let's just start there. So tell me a little bit more about your process and how you sort of derive these students, and then they go into your program.
What we do at Thuto Trust is we fund complete bursaries for young people to go and study to become teachers. Yeah. But we've long ago recognized that the academic study, the university qualification, is not sufficient to develop someone into a holistic, teacher. So we pay for the tuition, the typical bursary components, the tuition, the books, the accommodation. But what we started to put more emphasis on was, and this was linked to what we are trying to do, it's about teachers being recognized as role models within society. And so that expectation moves away from just the teacher in the classroom. It's about how the teacher manages themselves and others. So if you can't manage yourself, then how can you? I mean, teaching is essentially a leadership position.
I was coming there, but carry on. Absolutely.
So you're leading in the classroom. Yeah. You're leading hopefully out of the classroom. So you're not going to have your students finding you drunk as anything at a tavern next door, or not showing up at all. So it's about you first, leading yourself, being able to develop yourself, being able to move to a higher level where you are able to inspire others. If you can't inspire others, I can't see how you stand in front of a classroom and influence young minds, whether in terms of your subject or more broadly. So in terms of our requirements, we are quite stringent in terms of recruiting people who have got some level of leadership capability in the first place.
Yeah.
And there we, typically we would be funding young people at undergrad level or at postgrad level.
Yeah.
So if you look at it at undergrad level, we're recruiting young people who have demonstrated leadership at home, leadership within their schools. And there's loads of superb young people out there who have done things like set up study groups for their grades, out of their own initiation. They've initiated study groups, they help others, they lead others to be able to be successful in their matric results. So it's that kind of experience that we look for, because we ourselves have limited resources and capabilities. So we can't work with a complete absence of anything looking like leadership. So we look for our recruits to meet us halfway. So they need to have some demonstrated abilities in leading. I mean, we've had wonderful people, for example, leading their siblings in their family and families of single mothers, etc. And all that they've been able to achieve at that level. So that's what we're looking for, and that's the opportunity which we then present for those young people to further harness their abilities, to develop their abilities, to become great leaders.